Okay, now let's add some functionality to our bottom navigation bar. So if I click on this, I have to change the pages and everything, right? So for that we need some screens, so let's create some screens. So let's go to lib, let's create a new folder. Actually, yeah, let's create a new folder and let's name this screen. So we'll have all our screens in this folder, and in the folder itself I'll create a new file. So first of all, which screen do we want? We need a home screen, right? So like a home page where we'll have the recommended products and also future products and everything. So we need a home screen. I'll say stateless widget home screen. Okay, we have the home screen, and what else we need? We need a chat screen. So in the screens folder I create another folder named chats, where I'll have only screens related to chats, because I have multiple screens for chats. I'll explain it to you later on. Chat screen.dart. Let's create a stateless widget again, stateless widget, and let's name this chat screen. Here we'll see our chats, for like chats contacts. And then in the screens folder I'll have another one with the add product screen. So in this screen we can add the products or Firebase database, or we can just, the user can just add his products which he wants to sell. So let's create the stateless widget again, add product screen. Okay, cool. So we have another screen. What screen? We have a my product screen. So these are only like the user's products, the current user's products which he asked for sale or which he already sold. So my product screen.dart, and let's create a stateless widget again, my product screen, and the last screen is going to be a profile screen, just a user profile, right? A profile screen.dart, and let's create a stateless widget again, profile screen. Okay, good. Now we have all our screens, and we can go to our navigation and create a list of pages. So we have a list of pages here. I'll create a variable named pages, and this is going to be a list. So which pages we have? We have our home screen, we have our chat screen, we have the add product screen, we have my product screen, we have the profile screen. These are all our screens. Okay, and yeah, I have to remove this const in some things. Let me just do that. My product screen, profile screen, I don't need this one. Okay, let me just also save everything so that everything is just saved. I just want everything saved because I made a lot of new screens and changed everything and so on. Okay, now we have our pages, and now we have to add some state for this. So adding some state, we need a new GetX controller. So in the controllers, let's create a nav controller for a navigation. We'll have a specific controller, and let's create a get controller here, nav controller. And yeah, in the nav controller, which variables do we need? So we need the selected index, right? In the nav controller we have to get, like, we need the status, or we need to get track of the selected index. So which index is selected or which page is selected. I'll have final selected index, and so at the beginning it will be 0, because at the beginning, at the default, it will be the home screen, right? So 0.obs, and I'm saying .obs because I want this reactive. It should be reactive. I should be able to listen to it every time. And yeah, let's create a getter for it. So getter get selected index. So for getting the selected index, I can just say this dot selected index, so this one dot value, and I have to return it actually. So because I'm getting it, so return here this dot selected index dot value. Okay, what else do we need? Yeah, we need us to set it. So we need the setter. So set selected index, this is a function selected index, and we have to pass in the index as a parameter, so which index we are setting. And now just set this variable, so this dot selected index dot value to whichever index we are getting as a parameter here. There's just a function named selected index, or select in, actually it's select index or selected index. This is a getter, we're getting the value, and this is setter, we're just setting the value to a specific index. So if we click on this, then the selected index should be 1. If we click on this should be 3. If we click on this should be 4, like that, I mean. Okay, so now we have a nav controller, and we can go to main.dart and yeah, actually inject the state here. So I can directly inject it here. What I can do, I can just say nav controller get.put. now I can just get.put nav controller, and I'm just injecting the state with get.put. So with the get.put, we can just inject this nav controller to this page. Okay, so yeah, we have this, and now we have to make everything reactive, right? So the body is gonna be something from the pages. So this is why I have this pages list. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna say pages, and whichever index we get, right, from the nav controller. So nav controller dot selected index. So this is a getter, I'm getting the selected index. The nav controller dot selected index. So for example, just imagine a selected index is 2, then this page will be rendered, because pages, it will go to pages list, and it will just go to not 2. Okay, let's say it is 1, because 0 1 2 3. Okay, 1. If the selected index is 1, it will go to the chat screen. If selected index is 2, it will go to the add product screen, because here in the pages we're seeing here 2, get the second index, and this is second index, and we render the add product screen as our body. This is how it functions, but as it is this is a reactive value, we have to also, you know, put everything in an OBX, because we're using reactive values in GetX. And as I said, we have to use OBX. Then this is how we use OBX, and that now everything will be reactive, so it will reactively change its page. Also, this bottom navigation bar should be reactive, right? So if we click on this should also change its color and so on. That's why I should make it reactive. I'll just wrap it into the center and just call this OBX, and I can just do like this, just return a sized box. And here also we have to add some values. So after the items, after I put the items, I have to tell its current index. So what's the current index? The current index is in the nav controller dot selected index. We click on, and also have to use the on tab. So on tab will give me a value. So if I click on this on tab, what happens? So this will give me the index, right? Now I can use this nav controller dot selected index is equal to index. So perfect, easy, as you see. So I am just specifying correct index. The current index is whichever is a selected index in our nav controller. And on tab, what happens if I click on this, or if I click on any icon, then I'll change the selected index in the nav controller to whichever index I get in this on tab function. And this is how our bottom navigation bar easily works. If I just save everything and perform a hard reload, there you go, instance nav controller has been created, nav controller has been initialized. Now we click on chats, now it will change its color, you'll see. There you go, now we have the chat screen. Of course everything is white, because yeah, our screens are just white scaffolds. I can just go to the add products here. I can just show you guys that it really works. So child, I can just say text hello. Now click on OK. Now you guys can see it really works. So we click on this my product screen. There you go, we have this hello, but yeah, we can't see it because it's so small. Let me just give quickly a style for this. Colors.black. And we also have a font weight, and click on OK. Now we should see it, the hello. And we click on my ads. There you go. Oh, it was on my product screen, not in the ad product screen. There you go, hello. You see at the top, yeah, we can't at the top. If you just see correctly, it's at the top. And we click on profile. There you go. Everything is reactive. Everything is reactively changing. So okay, we added a state to our bottom navigation bar. Now we have a really good bottom navigation bar, and also we're changing the pages. And yeah, we can start. Actually, let's start here with at the ad product screen, and yeah, we'll just add some UI for the ad product screen, and yeah, just then start adding products to our database.